thing I want to bring to your attention. And here it is. I only have one copy, so you will all have to gather around.
Holy cow, 8 miles of flak over Germany.
Boy, that must have been a rough trip.
I'd hate to have been on that ride.
Hey, Sarge, what about that flak suit?
Say, that flak suit.
That's quite a deal.
I wonder who invented it anyway.
Say, that's all right.
A smart boy, sure shaved your skin.
That's all right. Look at that.
That's
Find out
good.
more about it, huh?
The man who is primarily responsible for this body armor is the surgeon of the 8th Air Force, Brigadier General Malcolm C. Grove.
A great deal of planning and battle experience have gone into the development of this body armor. We found that 80% of all battle wounds were caused from relatively low velocity missiles from flak and 20mm cannon shells. I therefore started looking for some form of helmet and bulletproof vest which would protect the vital centers, namely the abdomen, the chest, and the head. My first clue came from Scotland Yard.
At Scotland Yard, General Grove was introduced to a famous old firm that has been making swords for almost 200 years. They took on the job of making what is known as the flak-suit, which are now also being made in the United States. That's Tom Beasley. He's been beating out swords for 63 years. But this is a modern war. This machine beats out the secret of the flak-suit, 2-inch manganese plates. Here is where the flak-suit is assembled. The pattern is sketched on a mountain of cloth and cut out with this knife. Miles of material are sewn together to form pockets. These are cut to size and sewn on canvas. The plates are placed in strips and then inserted into the vest. Canvas cover is sewn on and bound. Snap fasteners are assembled and sewn in place. The ripcord is inserted. The suit is first inspected by a factory inspector. And then again by the ministry inspectors. The helmet is also assembled in sections. It has a chamois inner lining to prevent it slipping around on your head. A word of warning. This helmet has been designed to stop flak and should not be treated like a football, so don't kick it around. A leather cover is placed over the plates and bound. The earpieces are put in place. And it is then placed on a model to ensure proper fit. Now let's see how the boys wear it. Looks pretty clumsy, doesn't it? But you'd better take the trouble to get it right, brother, because soon you'll need it. You want to get set for battle before you cross the enemy coast. It's very easy to assemble. All you do is attach the back plate to the breastplate by fastening either pair of shoulder straps, usually the right pair. Then place it over the right shoulder and fasten the other side. The apron is attached to the center stud of the breastplate, and the other two studs are snapped into place. Bring the waist straps around and fasten them to the ripcord snaps. Make sure you slip the waistbands beneath the studs on the breastplate so that they will not ride up. Tighten the waistband by pulling on the straps. You will notice the ripcord is made of special material to enable you to find it easily. Make sure it fits snugly round the back. Now the helmet. The front is plainly marked. It fits round the earphone, and there is a quick release fastener under the right ear. Now watch, and you'll see why these boys were so careful to get their iron suits on right. The veterans know why. Freshmen find it out in a hurry. You'll have a hot reception committee waiting for you. Flak is only a part of it. Jerry fighters will come slashing at your formation, and they throw everything at you from .30 calibers to rocket shells. Sure, we've got our own fighters, and you've got your own guns, and you know how to use them. And the Huns take a hell of a beating too. But there's no point in kidding yourselves. Between the flak and the fighters, before you get your bombs away, some of our bombers are bound to get it. There's one going down, but inside that fort the crew still has a fighting chance. Bail out. And don't think your flak suit is going to slow you up. Watch. Co-pilot checks the stragglers. Waist gunners. Flak suit off. Oxygen mask. Helmet. And on with the chute. now the pilot. There he is, floating to the ground. A prisoner of war, perhaps, but alive. A lot of beat-up bombers do get home. Nice day's work for the repair crew. But all the battle damage wasn't to the bombers. The combat crew takes a beating too. Here's a hit over the eye. Flak tore his helmet off, but he kept his head. The 20 millimeter hit at 3 o'clock and 7 o'clock. The flak suit took the bullseye. Sergeant Bothwell, direct hit in the back with 20 millimeter. Was he lucky? Or was he smart? Let's find out.
You'll be going on leave in a couple of days. Aren't you glad you wear your flak suit?
Boy, am I. Just look at it. Look at these plates here. All I've got to show is a little tattoo mark.
Let's look at some of General Grove's records. They all tell their own story. Flight Officer Albers was not injured in the area covered by the flak suit. He did receive multiple lacerations on the arm and forearm. And the men who wore them are back giving Jerry hell.
Our records are full of cases where the body armor has saved lives. And if all these men could talk to you, they'd say the same as Sergeant Bothwell does.
Yes, General. And what Sergeant Bothwell says, the difference between this and this